There was once a time.
Ready? Yeah. Mookie!
Yo.
And we back with another reaction video. Now, Mookie.
Yeah.
This video right here was in my DM, bro.
Okay.
The never-ending nightmare of Paul Pogba. Banned for 4 years. In the comment section, please let us know what happened. Y'all story. We're going to listen to this story. But yeah, bro, they requested this. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Hope y'all like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Mookie.
Yeah.
Let's get into it, bro.
There was once a time where Paul Pogba looked dead set on becoming a legend in the footballing world. He had everything. An infectious personality, great technical skill, pace, and power. By the age of 23, he became the most expensive player in history at the time, costing Manchester United a staggering €105 million, where Jose Mourinho went on to say that he...
Those football players, they get that bread over there,
they do.
boy. Y'all
Yes,
got a
they
lot of money. That's why they probably don't play about, like, when somebody hits somebody and all that, bro. They already risked too much for their team and their players. And you telling me you want to act crazy discipline-wise? Nah, they ain't going with that.
He would be the heart of the club for the next decade and beyond. Well, fast forward 7 years and he's now facing a ban from football altogether off the back of a season with Juventus where he only managed to play a total of 10 games, registering just 1 assist. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how could somebody so naturally talented for the beautiful game, a World Cup winner, end up with his career finished by the age of 30? Well, let's take a look. After captaining his local club at under-13s level, French wonderkid spawning ground Le Havre snapped Pogba up. This is the same club that is...
Want to upgrade but still paying off your locked phone? Break free from 3-year device contracts.
blessed the footballing world with the likes of Payet, Mahrez, Ferland,
Mahrez.
Mendy, Mandanda, and more. By his second season, Pogba found himself captain of their under-16s and cemented his position as a wonder kid in European football, with some of the biggest clubs around interested in his signature. Manchester United would be the ones to end up successfully winning said signature in 2009 when he joined their academy. However, it wouldn't be Man United and Paul Pogba if there wasn't some controversy involved now, would it? You see, he left Le Havre without informing the club, forcing the French outfit to publish...
Shorty always been tall. How tall is Pogba, y'all?
Oh, yeah.
He look like 6'4".
6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
An official statement calling out Pogba and his family. See what I mean? This really does feel like some elite level foreshadowing, doesn't it? However, Pogba wasn't the only one getting flack from Le Havre, as United too had been called out for supposedly offering his parents a lot of money. Thus, they asked FIFA to intervene. In the end though, United were given the green light and cleared of any potential wrongdoing. This headache could seem to have paid off too, as Pogba was a complete and utter baller for the youth team, becoming an integral part of one of the most iconic academy sides in Man United history, alongside Ravel Morrison and Jesse Lingard. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound that iconic nowadays, but trust me, alright, this team was built different. Now, Pogba's performances rightfully earned himself a call-up to train with the first team, and the following year, it was his time to experience first-team football, with his debut coming against fierce rivals Leeds United in the League Cup. Things were going great, right? Well, Pogba soon found himself in the final year of his contract and decided that if he wanted to pursue a career at the highest level, he needed consistent playing time. Something that Fergie just wasn't ready to give him yet. In fairness, he did have another Paul in midfield who was pretty decent at kicking a ball, so you can't really blame him. Regardless, almost as soon as he had joined, Pogba was gone, with Juventus snatching him up. Now again, wouldn't be Manchester United and Paul Pogba if there wasn't some controversy. Fergie...
That's crazy because I never seen... We react to Pogba a lot. And I don't think I ever seen him in a Man United jersey.
I never seen him in that.
I seen him in that white and black Jeep jersey, though. You feel me?
Announced in a press conference that he was disappointed in Pogba, stating he showed no respect for the club as he made his decision to leave without even informing them. Listen, alright, I'm just going to say the red flags were there. I mean, this is kind of like exactly what he did to Le Havre to join you guys in the first place. So what was you expecting, really? Unfortunately for Pogba and United, though, disappointment would probably be the only thing he'd end up being consistent with for them. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's be honest, alright? Juventus Pogba, the old version, not this one, was probably one of the most entertaining footballers on the planet. Whilst nowadays he might have an army of haters, back then he was one of the most beloved youngsters, and for good reason. Pogba quickly adapted to life in Serie A with a full 90 minutes on his debut, showcasing his extraordinary talent.
He got the time he wanted.
With his ability
90
to
minutes,
defend,
babe.
create, and score. He bagged his first goal against Napoli, ending the season as Serie A's big thing.
Crazy.
It was safe to say that his move to Juventus had paid off. His hard work, talent, and dedication was noticed as he was called up to captain the under-20 national side during the 2013 World Cup in Turkey, helping France win it for the first ever time, whilst also being named as player of the tournament. This fine form was only improved heading into the 13-14 season with Juventus, where he went on to register 9 goals and 16 assists. He went the entire season without missing a single game through injury. In fact, he only missed 1 game, and that was through suspension. This is in stark contrast to the Pogba of today, 10 years later. At this point, though, success just began to naturally flow into Pogba's life, as that same year he rightfully won the Golden Boy Award. He was now officially Europe's most promising youngster, and it kept getting better and better for him.
Shorty, so
More
tall,
success
yo.
saw him get his first call up to the French national team. He was going to the 2014 World Cup. This was when the rest of the world came to understand the true talent
So my man French for real.
Oh, yeah.
of Paul Pogba. He played 5 times in that tournament, starting in 4 of them. That was an achievement in and of itself as someone so young, but what made it better was that he ended up being named Young Player of the Tournament with an average match rating of 7.36. Legend of the game Patrick Vieira went on to say that Pogba could be one of the best in the world, and that he was more technically gifted than he ever was. In fact,
when we first arrived at St. Jude, it was just
this excerpt from Bleacher Report sums up perfectly what the consensus of Pogba was like at the time. The fact that Pogba has played such a big role for both Juventus and his country at a World Cup before he's even turned 22 also says quite a bit about the youngster's future. He not only has at least 2 more World Cups in him, but also a decade left to dominate European football. Wow, how times have changed. But before we discuss his downfall, there was still some very good times with Juventus. The 2014-15 season saw Pogba achieve double digits in both goals and assists for the first time in his senior career, registering 10 and 11 respectively. There was one problem though. He also missed 10 games that season through injury, equating to a total of 2 months of football.
There go those injuries, y'all.
Injury, to be precise. You could say it was the early signs of his demise. It's just that nobody could see it yet. That being said, it didn't stop him from returning to football in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid, where he got the all-important assist to see them through to the final. It was by far the best Juventus had performed on the European stage for quite some time, with many, including myself, hoping that they'd go on to lift the trophy. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, as the iconic MSN trio just proved too much to handle. That didn't stop Pogba being shortlisted.
Yeah, I think Messi was on that team too.
See how pretty that team was, bro? Do y'all see how pretty that team was, man?
Never again.
Yeah,
for the Ballon d'Or 2 years running though, where in 2014 he was the youngest player to make the list. After all this success with Juve, Pogba was handsomely rewarded with the iconic number 10 shirt, once worn by club legends such as Roberto Baggio and Alessandro Del Piero. If it wasn't obvious already, Juventus viewed him as their midfield maestro for the long term, as the responsibility was placed upon his shoulders following the departure of the midfield magician Andrea Pirlo. Big shoes to fill, I know. But Pogba proved that he was the man for the job with another successful season, registering 10 goals and 13 assists, finding himself in the 2015...
Pogba always got a wild haircut, it looked like,
too, bro. I was looking at that dude.
Oh, man, look at all these stars up here.
Yeah, we got
Cristiano,
Messi, Neymar,
what's my
Pogba,
man name?
We got Luka.
He played for Barcelona, bro. That's not Iniesta, is it? I'm sorry if I'm wrong, y'all. Neymar. Who that? Sergio?
Yeah, that's Sergio.
Pogba, Marcelo, Luka.
Yeah.
I don't know who this is.
in FIFA Pro World 11. What's more is that he only missed 2 games through injury, so
hey,
that issue looked to be fixed as well, right? What on earth could possibly go wrong for Paul Pogba going forward? He's
Right.
going to dominate European football for the next decade. Remember? Hello, I believe you have something that belongs to me. Sir, I don't think you understand. You're the one that gave him to us. You can't just... Oh, well, when you put it like that... That's right, Manchester United were back with a record-breaking £89 million bid which saw them secure the signature of Paul Pogba a second time. However, he'd just come fresh off the bat of possibly his worst stint as a player at Euro 2016. He was heavily criticised for his poor performances. After giving an early penalty away against Ireland in the round of 16, Gary Lineker tweeted asking if Pogba was the most overrated player in world football. His perception had begun to change immediately from world-class talent to waste of money, following the then rumours of his big money move. Seriously though, what actually went wrong? I mean, was it the pressure maybe?
Right.
Well, the 2016 Euros marked the beginning of a slight position change for Pogba. Despite his numbers of 20 plus goals and assists consistently for the last few years, he saw himself be transitioned into more of a holding midfielder. The risky, flair-ridden creator from Juventus was seemingly killed and replaced with a far slower, pragmatic player, passing from side to side with his teammates in his own half. What's even more confusing was that when he was played in a more advanced position, he played well and contributed greatly to the team, most notably seen when France beat Germany in the semi-finals. Yet,
That's important to you, bro.
What?
When you switch somebody's position, bro.
Yeah, of course. They gotta work the pitch a whole different way now.
Yeah, like, and then it seemed like what he was playing was like a more of a star position for him.
Absolutely.
And you downgraded his role. That can mess with your self-confidence, bro.
Yeah,
It can mess with your head. Like, no, I'm used to doing this. Even when I know y'all probably don't know out there, but when AI used to come off the bench, he ain't play his best like that no more.
No, he didn't. He was on the bench.
Yet for some reason, he was consistently viewed as this deep-lying playmaker who would use his physicality to break up play. And this didn't change during his time at Man United either. Hence why he once again fell considerably short of expectations, registering a measly 9 goals and 6 assists in 51 games.
Right.
He also missed a whopping 14, once again mostly through an aggravated hamstring injury. That being said, he wasn't all bad. Despite his low numbers, he was one of the most creative players in the league, let down by the forwards around him seemingly forgetting where the goal was, or whilst hitting the woodwork a total of 9 times himself that season. So there was promise even if he didn't live up to his price tag. After all, he's still a valuable member of one of the most memorable nights in Manchester United's post-Fergie history, scoring in the Europa League final versus Ajax. Overall, it was a season United fans could look at and get hopeful about going into the next one. Trust me, I know. £90 this cost me. Never again.
Right.
Wow.
Jose Mourinho.
How much is 90 pounds?
In dollars, maybe like $110, $115. Let's ask Siri. Siri, how much is 90 pounds in American money?
Oh, 113?
Yeah.
All right.
Close.
Went to war with the media to defend his top talent, sarcastically labelling them as Einsteins, whilst also stating that he had the foundations to one day become club captain and prove that his world record price tag would be looked back on as cheap. Bring on the following season, where after a bright start, Pogba was sidelined with a hamstring injury. Oh, not this again. This was where the souring relationship between Jose and Pogba began. The special one was reportedly annoyed that the Frenchman went to Miami for his recovery rather than staying with the squad in Manchester, a reoccurring issue that fans and managers of Manchester United would begin to...
Do you like minting money? Well, the lithium business is for you. The lithium margins right now are practically...
to lose their patience with. Fast forward to March 2018, and it is reported that Jose and Pogba weren't even on speaking terms anymore. Pogba would later go to the 2018 World Cup in France and silence many of his haters as he went on to lift the trophy as one of the standout players of the entire tournament. Jose, however, sent a subtle dig towards the player, stating that tournaments like this suit a player such as Pogba as they're only a month long and totally isolated, meaning that he doesn't have chance to lose focus. In the end though, Pogba returned to United the next season and captained the club in his first game back. The
Right.
relationship between the two had seemingly recovered, or at least it had for now. He
Right.
bagged himself 16 goals and provided 11 assists, which was a huge improvement on the previous year. However, it wouldn't take long for their relationship to diminish once more, leading to the Frenchman finding himself dropped from the starting 11 for Scott McTominay?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In spite of this, a string of poor performances saw the end of Jose's reign in Manchester and the beginning of a reinvigorated Pogba as he was united with then interim manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Not only did the club overall see a surge of good performances, but Pogba himself was at the heart of it all. In his first month under Ole, Pogba registered 4 goals, already equaling his total amount in the previous 20 games under Jose, as well as 3 assists, which was actually a record month for him at the time, not just at United, but in his entire professional career. The 25-year-old became the player with the most goals, most assists, most shots on target, most touches, and most chances created at the club in that year, and by February, he was involved in 53% of the club's total goals. However, the summer of 2019 fast approached, and the resurgence of Pogba was overshadowed by the uncertainty of his future. His agent at the time, Mino Raiola, mentioned how he wanted to leave the club, with Pogba even admitting that there were question marks over his future, claiming that it could be a good time to experience a new challenge. That being said, the summer ended and he was going nowhere despite solid interest from Juventus, Barcelona, and Real Madrid. That was good news, right? Well, not for a lot of the fan base. As often is the case at a behemoth like United, no player is bigger than the club. And so when a player states they wish to leave, they should, no matter how good they are. Nonetheless, the 1920 season began and wow, that's a lot of injuries. Yeah, okay, so that one's a complete write-off. Roll on 2021. Again, injuries were probably the only major consistency in his game, with his position of Man United's main man now being given to Bruno Fernandes. Everything came crumbling down, however, in the following season. He got a red card against fierce enemies Liverpool, which was subsequently followed up with another hamstring injury, sidelining him for a number of months.
A good question is, how do I get started trading? A better question is, how do I profit to
Thus, the fans and club had enough. A string of more poor performances, injuries, trips to Dubai, and transfer speculation later saw Pogba leave Manchester United on a free transfer for the second time in his career after the club decided to not renew his deal. However, Paul went to say during the Pogumentary, no, seriously, that's what it's called, that he was committed to making sure United regretted not renewing his contract that summer. The thing is, he was offered 2 deals of over £290,000 per week. You know what Pogba had to say about that though? How can you tell a player that you absolutely want him and offer him nothing? My guy, you were going to be one of the highest paid players in Premier League history. Attempted blackmail attempt from his own brother made Paul consider an early retirement. The same month he signed for Juve, Pogba filed a complaint in Turin alleging his brother Matthias was part of a group organised extortion attempt against him. In August 2022, he was held hostage by a gang armed with assault rifles who demanded £11 million as part of a long-running blackmail plot organised by his brother and friends. Pogba ultimately paid £85,000 to the offenders, with Matthias Pogba, his brother, charged and detained by French prosecutors later that year. He ended up being released and denied the allegations, but Paul went on to say, when there is money, you have to be careful. Money changes people. It can break up a family. It can create a war. All Paul wanted at that moment was to be normal. He wished he never had money or fame so that he could be loved for who he was. However, the never-ending nightmare for Pogba continued. Since rejoining Juventus in the summer of 2022 to now, 2024, Pogba has started a grand total of 1 game for the club. The reason for this being the case in his first season was because of, you guessed it, injuries. The truth behind his second season was much more severe. One that has put the entire future of his career in serious doubt. You see, elevated levels of testosterone were found during a random drugs test taken after Juventus' game against Udinese on August 20th. This saw him suspended indefinitely by the club, with a likely 4-year ban awaiting. He will be in his mid-30s, begging the question of, will we ever see Pogba step foot on a football pitch again. If you enjoyed this video, then go ahead and check out this one about how Haaland saved his career before it even began, or how this 15-year-old has over 400 goals in less than 90 games for AC Milan. Also, don't forget to ding that notification bell whilst you're at it.
Yeah. He was right about that. Money can change people.
He was. This was a very, very interesting story, bro.
Absolutely.
So, but basically, it sounded like Pogba's still playing to today.
Yeah, he's playing sporadically, but he's playing.
Yeah, bro. It seemed like he went through a lot throughout his career, and he made like a lot of.
He made a lot of money, but
he made a lot of wrong moves. It seemed like the wrong.
Going to, like when you know you're an injury, why is you going to Miami? That's a party city.
Yeah, fact.
Dubai, that's a party town. You feel what I'm saying?
And he going back from club to club.
Yeah.
He got his brothers in his ear.
Your body is the most important thing when you play these type of sports. You have to rest and heal your body. Now, after you do your job, I'm just a firm believer of if you get a job, right, you got to go to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go to work. Now, I realize we all got certain things that'll come on us, and sometimes it can hinder us from performing that job, but you should never prioritize things of lesser value than, football. Football is his number one. You feel what I'm saying? So me personally, I would have stayed home, rested up, and I'd save some money too. Yeah. But I would have stayed home.
That's what his brothers wanted the bread.
Yeah, I would have stayed home, rested up. So when I came back that later on that season or that next season, I'm a beast. Fact. You know what I'm saying? And if the season is over, win or lose, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. This season is over, I'm going to go party a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm saying? But no, you don't do that. You don't put certain things over your career, because this is your career, bro. You get paid hundreds of millions of dollars. People want to see you play. So if you do it, if you got a job, you got to go to work.
Seemed like his mindset was in the wrong place. Sometimes, you feel me? Definitely say like that. But this was an amazing story about my guy right here. Thank you for sharing this with us, giving us more insight on Pogba. When we first seen Pogba, we thought truly, even to today, amazing player, bro. Amazing player. So look, if y'all new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. I'm Nick DUNSON, and we out, baby. 1.